It is recording.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. What we're going to do, Amy, we're going to work on your previous test that you had before.
Do you want me to stay the?
Yeah, if you can show me the picture again. So basically, we're going to go through the fault that you done last time.
Yeah.
And then we're going to sort them out one by one. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one you got here, you got on the, did the trainer, okay. Did the trainer identify the people learning goals and need? You got 2 on that one, that's good. I think you did good recap on that one.
Yeah,
so basically, ask what we did last lesson and so on, which is good. Okay. But did you ask them like about what score you had last time, what you want to be today?
Yeah, I did all that.
Yeah?
But obviously because she was a full licence holder, I'd said that we'd had 1 lesson previous to get her back on the road and stuff like that, and because she'd been out of the car for however long. So I had said that we had a previous lesson.
Okay.
And obviously we were working on roundabouts, so I said to her, where was she at the beginning? And I think she scored herself quite low. And then she said she wanted to be like quite high after that lesson.
Great,
so
okay,
I did
good.
do that.
So basically what happened at recap and goals and need with the full license holder slightly different with the normal learners. Basically you have to ask a lot more questions, you encourage them a lot more, okay, and give them more responsibility.
Okay.
So when you say that what we done previous lesson, so yes, she remember she said this or that, right, what you did that, for example, what you should have done, you think, if you have license already, so what is the best way to deal with that situation, how would you improve that, you think, by yourself, you know, like sort of, you know, you're going around a bit like that. So the examiner will probably give you 3 on that one if you do that way. Okay, but 2 is still good. Okay, now the things that we need to work on, mostly the one that you got 1. Okay, so you got in here, there's structure for the, so the second one is the agreed lesson structure, okay, appropriate for people, experience and habit. As you see that, of course, because it's got full license holder,
and I was treating them
and
like
then you treat him like a learner, so you have to treat them differently.
Yeah, I was treating her like she was partly
one.
trained, and obviously she wasn't. She was fully trained. And I knew that that's where I went wrong. I knew that. I knew it was silly of me, really silly of me.
It's fine, you will find this time. So the next one you got where the practice area suitable. Okay. So you was teaching her roundabout, yeah?
Yeah, and basically what he'd said to me is because she was a full licence holder, I should have took her to a few more complex roundabouts rather than just normal
basic
roundabouts. Yeah, so he said I should have took her to roundabouts with more lanes on because she was full licence. She wasn't like a trainer, like a trainee. So that's pretty much, again, I know where I went wrong with it again, because I was treating her as a learner. It, and that's where I went wrong, because I was like acting as if like she was a trainer, like a trainee, sorry, and it was that I just know.
The problem with this is, I mean, if your structure is wrong, it all go wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly.
They all link together.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that's my problem. That's where I know that I went wrong.
Yeah. So your proper learner was probably, you got like 2 or 3 maybe on that one. Okay. So yeah, basically when you got full license holder and if you're taking your part 3 test, you need to take him to like roundabout, have multiple lanes, big roundabout with a lot more challenges.
That's what he said to me.
It doesn't matter if you couldn't do it or they're making a mistake on it, but we expect from full license holder a lot better than.
No, definitely.
So how long ago was you? Okay, you took refreshing lesson with like kind of refreshing you were doing almost with that full license holder that day, yeah, or just like. What was the plan? I mean,
it was a refresher lesson. So I said that she'd been out the car for like however long since she had a license, and she's just got a car. So she wanted a couple of refresher lessons to get her back comfortable on the roads. Okay. And again, I just treated her like a learner. And if you think, I mean, I've not had to teach a full license holder as of yet, so that's kind of.
It's hard.
I thought it would be easier.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's definitely not. It's definitely harder.
It's hard. A lot of people think it's easier because they know how to drive. That's it.
That's what I thought. I was in that mindset. Yeah, she knows how to drive. It'll be nice and easy. And then when it comes to it, it's like, well, how do you teach someone that already knows how to drive? It's a lot different to what we're used to, isn't it? So
again, it's all same thing. Again, they said it was a lesson plan adapted. When I put again, it's full license holder. You should have changed it to something bigger and more complex.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's got one. So you got, if actually this 3 was there, you could pass, you know, like that 3 technically, you get another 3.
I know, I was kicking myself, to be honest. I was kicking myself afterwards.
Yes.
But
Okay.
we learn from our mistakes, don't we? I know what to do next time now.
Okay. So you got other one in here, so that giving instructor in good time. So they said this where the direction and instruction given to people clear and giving good time. You got one on that one. What happened there?
Because when I was saying, say if we're going second exit on a roundabout, I was saying straight over at the roundabout.
Yeah.
And he said, no, you shouldn't say that. You should say follow the road ahead at the roundabout rather than straight ahead, because if someone was new to it, they could literally go straight over the roundabout instead of following the road ahead.
Exactly. Yeah. Wording basically.
Yeah, that's it. And I mean, he did put that down in the notes at the bottom.
Yeah.
And he did give me a full talk through afterwards, and he explained it then, and I was like, yeah, okay, I get that, I understand that. So since then, I've been adapting that in my normal lessons.
That's very good. Well done. So basically, you don't want to mislead people by saying
that's it.
Ahead or like straight ahead or stuff
I
like that.
do find though now when I say to people, follow the road ahead, second exit.
Yeah.
They'll say, oh, what, straight over? And I'm like, well, now how do I respond to that comment? Because it's like, I will say follow the road ahead, second exit, and they'll say, yeah, okay, we're going straight over then, and I'll be like, do you know what I mean?
No, we wouldn't use that for roundabout specifically, because roundabout is a very big hazard.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. I don't say it, but my people say, oh, so we're just going straight on.
Yeah.
And I'll be like,
you need to be a little bit on roundabout, but your actual learners will be more specific and it's more clear on those ones, especially on roundabout, because it's crazy, isn't it? Cars everywhere, because they can mislead them. You can go straight to the lane in front of them and so on. Okay. So the best way to give instruction on roundabout. So let me ask you, okay, yourself. You definitely know this anyway. So if you come into roundabout, and you want to ask your learners at the round, say they want to go to the second exit, okay?
Yeah.
How would you think that you should give instructions to make it more clear?
I would say, so we're going to go second exit here, and then I'd ask them what lane do you think, well, it depends where they're at, like what lane do you think we need to be in?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
that's not bad actually.
I'd ask them what, so they know what lane they need to be in, and I'd ask them where they want to position themselves. If it is someone that's very new to roundabouts, I will talk them through, and I'll say, right, so we're going to take the second exit here.
Okay.
It is following the road ahead. We are going to stay to the left here.
Okay.
Obviously, unless signs say otherwise.
Yep.
As we go around the roundabout, I'd like to stay to the left. Do you know when we're going to mirror check and signal? As we pass the first one, mirror check and signal, and off we come, kind of thing. So, I mean, it's just when they say to me, oh, straight on then, and I'm like, yeah, we're going second exit. I have to try and save him, like, yeah, second exit, we're following the road ahead, kind of thing. Because they say, oh, straight on then, and I'm like, second exit. So, you know, it's not always a straight on, is it, with a second exit? So
yeah, it's a bit more prompting, a bit more clear on instructions. With the learner, even refreshing, you have to be a little more specific with them when you're giving directions. Okay, yeah. So now you know. Okay, yeah. You knew that before as well, of course, but first time in a test, of course, when people go first time to the test, get a little bit nervous sometimes. They're overacting sometimes, over talking, over saying. They want to learn. They want to whatever they learn, and just in that half an hour, they want to just boom, 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 boom,
no, that's it. That's
taking out. Okay, that's the issue sometimes. Okay, yeah. But it's quite informative. I mean, chance of passing first attempt, to be honest, is about 6 to 10%. Is very low.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really. It's very. A lot of people, the chance of passing second one quite higher than the first one, because you don't know what the test look like, you don't know what mistake you're making, that pressure you get in, this or that. Okay, yeah. So you get quite more information, more info now, so then you know what to do and next one. Okay, right. The next one. You okay?
I'm sorry, it's just me, mate.
Okay.
Shocking.
The next one, you got a lot of good tutors. I mean, to be honest, you had the risk and responsibility to be shared. Again, when you're saying the risk and responsibility to be shared, okay, again, with the full license holder, you say differently with the normal learners. Yeah?
Yeah.
So with the full license holder, when you say the risk and responsibility to be shared, you said, okay, I know you got a full license, and I'm sure that you're very comfortable with the pedals and stuff. You've been driving before. Okay. Now, of course, you got responsibility there. Okay. Now, on the move, when we drive around, if I didn't say nothing to you, or I didn't do anything verbally or physically, that means I'm very comfortable with you driving. So don't worry if I'm quiet in that time. Okay, yeah. So you just need to add that bit on that. Okay,
Yeah.
you still have to share responsibility, of course. That, okay, if something's happened there, I may use my pedals instead. Okay, but if you did add that, like kind of just that bit, like say that, okay, you're familiar with the car, you've been driving before, so you got most of responsibility here.
Yeah.
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 That would be 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it. It's
Just
just,
because of
no,
instruction.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know exactly
first-
where it was. It was
yeah.
it was just.
But
some
not bad. You got
process.
risk and risk management 9, which is
Yeah,
very
I only
good.
got one in that, didn't
Just
I?
one. Yeah, you got off 2, which is good. Not bad. You want 3 this time? Okay, all of that.
Yeah, I
Get
mean,
grade
I
A this
feel
time.
pretty,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel pretty confident on it though.
Get
I mean,
grade A, man. Okay. Now we got other one here that said. Yeah, okay. Was the teaching style suited to the people learning style and current ability? Again, yeah, there's a link to the.
all of them are because of that, aren't they?
Of course, its
Oh,
style has to be
exactly.
different with the full license holder than with the normal learner. Okay,
yeah.
so teaching style needs to change. You can So that you know what happened there. So you need to basically. So tell me about this one a little bit. So what teaching style you have to use for now for the full license holder or the normal learner?
It's just more of like they'll be independent, won't they? But you ask them more questions rather than tell them. I think that's what I did. I was telling her what to do and where to go, and not obviously we tell them where to go, but I was talking a lot. I was over talking for a full license holder basically. I was talking to her like she was partly trained.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So it was like I didn't need to do as much talking. I was blah blah blah, blah. And obviously what I needed to is just ask questions and for her to answer me back.
Okay.
That's where I think that went wrong.
That's okay. That's okay. Yes, definitely. That, but the examiner said that you don't need to tell too much.
That's it. That's exactly what I did.
To people. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So next one you got here one. Which one is it? Okay. Was the technical information given comprehensive and appropriate and accurate? What happened to technical information? What
I don't
happened
think I give her any. I don't know. I don't think I had opportunity to give her any because we were doing roundabouts.
Okay. What the technical information is? Tell me about it.
So is it like? I'm not sure actually. I forgot.
You know when you're giving direction,
Yeah.
that also technical information as well. You know.
Okay.
How you give reference point, like say how you say which position you should be, which side you should be, you know, when you're going. So that's all technical information.
Oh, okay.
It's not just like changing gears and clutch control, you see.
Okay.
So reference point, for example. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Accurate reference point, accurate information. Yeah. So when you're going info to him or her, yeah. So it needs to be like a bit more accurate. What he's
Okay.
saying to them.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Do you think that could be with the whole roundabout thing again?
Yes, could
As
be.
in, like,
Yeah.
going,
Yeah.
go straight over.
So probably in 1 point or 2 point, like you didn't give correct or like proper technical information to them, like give them a little bit more maybe help, a reference point if they did have some issues. So tell me about you. What happened to her? Why you choose Roundabout with her? What she was doing on Roundabout? Then why you choose Roundabout that day with her?
Just because she needed her. That's obviously what we was choosing to do next. As in, so I'd already been in the car with her once, get her familiar with being back in a car.
Yeah.
And we decided, right, okay, next time we'll have a look at roundabouts, get you more comfortable on roundabouts.
What do you think that she needed to work on Roundabout to get comfortable? Did she have problem with Roundabout?
No, but it's because we'd said that she'd not been on them for however long.
Just refreshing you were doing basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So technically QA technique can be also technical information.
Okay.
More asking questions, more to find out, you know, what sort of things and that. And also when they tell you something, there could be she ask you. Did she ask you any questions like between at all? Because sometimes if they ask a question and you give them not really comprehensive information or technical information, examine it sometimes.
Yeah, no, she didn't. She didn't ask me anything.
Okay.
The one thing that I do remember actually is we were coming up to a zebra crossing.
Yeah.
And she didn't notice the pedestrian. So
Why?
I told her about the pedestrian, and I should have asked her about it rather than tell her.
Yes.
Because that could that be technical information as well? Because instead of me just saying, "What can you see at this crossing?" or "Can you see anything?"
Yeah.
I just said, "Did you see that can you see that pedestrian? And I didn't give her a chance to spot it herself, kind of thing.
That could be usually for a style of teaching is, okay, yeah?
Oh, okay.
Yeah? So did she pass the pedestrian crossing when you asked, or how early you did tell her about pedestrian crossing?
So it was coming up, and again, I assumed that she'd seen the person, but she didn't. There was no kind of slowing down or anything for it.
So you find that from the action, is it right? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So when did you find that action? When did you notice that
When
she's
we
not
was
leaving?
approaching it, and she wasn't coming off her accelerator to
Okay,
brake.
okay. So what should you have done at that point then?
On
As
approach
you
to it,
know?
I should have asked her. It's the whole asking questions, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I'd. I mean, I don't know. I think at that point, because I'd assumed as a full license holder she would have seen it.
Yeah.
But I should have asked her. I still should have said, "Can you see anything at that crossing?" Not point it out to her because she doesn't look like she's slowing down.
Yeah. So you know that intervene, yeah?
Yeah.
Verbally, yeah?
Yeah.
Appropriately. So you should have intervened verbally first earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you notice that action is wrong, obviously, by asking earlier, then okay. Can you see the pedestrian crossings? Oh yeah. Is anybody around it? Oh yes. Okay. So what the speed you should have, you know?
I'm not getting one with you.
Then you have to do a little bit QA after that as well, okay? Because that is
As in,
you need to do some adoption on that one now. In that point, if the person, so did she not? She just passed the zebra crossing completely, yeah? And the person was standing there, yeah. Technically, you should have changed the subject to pedestrian crossing now.
Yeah.
Because if she didn't see that person, she was going. What happened if she was on it? You're probably gonna break and stop. So that could be like very dangerous situation, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
So in that point, you should be technically pull her on the side, and you start doing maybe a little bit roundabout, or maybe roundabout on that boat because she's a full license holder.
Yeah.
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 Chat about the pedestrian crossing, do some analyzing, you know, those sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then go for that and that same time. Maybe go around same time with that pedestrian crossing, and you know.
Yeah.
You know those remedial action that we ask them that would sort of help people. You know those all core competences.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what you should have done on that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's probably.
That's complete adapting same time as well. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I can see that.
Yes. So now you see what happened then. Okay. So if you remember when we did on those training together, so if something that your learners are doing between the session, that maybe not in the subject is, so you're doing different things, and then suddenly like say they doing something that could be very serious or dangerous, nearly park car on the left and nearly hit that car, or pedestrian crossing. Remember I mentioned actually specific to you guys pedestrian crossing. If someone like you're doing roundabout, for example, actually I did, you know, I did that in part to everyone this one.
Okay.
If someone, when you do competences on the first day, if someone you're teaching roundabout, sorry, I'm trying to keep touching to yeah. So doing the roundabout, it's a bit between that roundabout, maybe nearly hit someone on zebra crossing, or doing something dodgy with the meat insurance, you completely change it to just different things. Okay, yeah. So, but on that full license, you wouldn't need to change it completely. Okay, maybe just a couple of rounds on the pedestrian crossing, chat a little bit, prompt a little bit on that one, and then go back to roundabout again.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? That would be very nice. That was a bit of full license holder, slightly different. But if it was a normal learner, you just do pedestrian crossing now.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, is it locked again?
Sorry. You keep locking your phone.
Right, there you go.
That's why I don't look in on my phone. I don't pin on my phone. Right. Okay. Now the last one. Okay, did about so the one at the end of the session. Was the people encouraged to reflect on their own performance? You got one on that one.
I think I just didn't ask enough questions. So I'd asked her how she thought she got on, but I didn't ask her where she wants to be next time, what she thinks that we need to do for next time. I just didn't ask enough questions again.
Yeah.
I think, I'll be honest, I think it's going to be like it for normal pupils as well, isn't it? But when you're on a test and you feel like you've done bad, it kind of just downhill spirals, and you just think, oh well, I've buggered it up now anyway, kind of thing. And I think I just wanted at the end to just let's just get out of the car, and I didn't see it through properly. I didn't ask her more questions when they definitely could have been asked.
So what would have you asked them? Say for example now you know.
Yeah.
So you just said that I would have asked more questions.
Yeah. So I would have said, okay.
Imagine I'm a full license holder. It's the end of the session. Is now we don't roundabout. Go ahead then. There you
Yeah,
go.
so based off that lesson, I would have said, okay, how do you think today's been?
Oh yeah, it was great actually. Yeah, I did enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that we could have done anything better?
Yeah, I think I need more practice. I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. How about next time if we go to a couple of bigger roundabouts, something that's a little bit more challenging for us, because we're a full
Oh
license
yeah,
holder?
that
Yeah.
would be great because where I work usually there's a lot of roundabout there, so it's quite many lanes there. So definitely, if you could, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And so
Yeah.
what do you want to improve on? So you said that obviously you want a little bit more practice. What is it that you want to improve on?
Yeah, still I think I need to work on a little bit more on lane in the roundabout especially, and also the busier one, like the judging to go
Okay,
to
so
roundabout sometimes.
would you say it was the decision making when coming to a
Yeah,
roundabout?
yeah, like decision making, and also like you just I get confused and I'm with too many cars around. Just I think I need to work with more.
Okay, and what is it that you get confused with your positioning? Is it just because you don't know where to be? Is it when it's busy you forget when you get there?
I think it's just because too busy. It just make me worried, and just keep more look at the cars than actually look at my lane sometime. And then when I go to roundabout, then I start looking to my lanes and forget where I am sometimes.
So how do you think that's dangerous for us to not be looking where we're going when we're thinking about our lanes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Why is that dangerous?
Obviously, I've got the wrong lane and crashed to someone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Other than the roundabouts, do you think there's anything else that we need to improve on?
Yeah, there was a pedestrian crossing actually you mentioned earlier as well. Yeah, I need to look more. There was lady was about to walk and just a bit late.
Yeah. Oh, what are the consequences of that? So what about if that happens again? What would we do differently?
Okay, well, I would have slowed down earlier if I see that lady. So you got lucky that she didn't walk front of me then.
Yeah, because what could have happened?
Yeah, I would have hit her.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously that's what I can point out from today's lesson, and I think that's what we'll go to next time. Obviously bigger roundabouts, something more challenging.
Yeah.
Look at our lanes, look at our positioning, get you to, when you're approaching, to then think about decision making, and we'll have a look at the pedestrian crossings as well. How does that sound?
That's great, yeah, thank you, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, stop it then. That's not bad, yes. That's not bad. You could add more stuff, like you could have said a little bit more QA. When they said that, when they said that decision, yeah, I would have asked them, okay, can you tell me, because she's full license holder, or even part of the train, because you train them all this, okay? So better that I would ask him a few more questions about the decision making.
Okay. What about the decision making?
Yeah, can you do that with me now? So say you ask me some question about, so I have problems, say I'm on decision to go to the roundabout, or any junction or anything,
Yeah.
So how would you, because you want to know how much knowledge I have now, isn't it? You want to really see that how much I know.
Okay.
I can get.
Yeah.
So what sort of question do you think you should ask now?
I would say, okay, so if we're struggling with decision making, when we're approaching a roundabout, what is the first thing that we need to think about doing?
Slowing down.
Yeah. Okay. Why do we need to slow down?
More time to react.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is where it's like I would be saying
It's
to them,
technical information.
where are we going to be looking? What else are we going to be thinking of? Are we going to be looking about who's, like, I mean, I've done this before with my own learners, like I'll be looking at who's already on the roundabout, looking at their signals. Are they going left? Have they got no signal because they're going straight on? Are they coming round the roundabout because they've got a right signal on? I'd be talking about all that, and like, as when I have my pupils, I have a lot that are like that.
Yeah.
They get so scared, or what they do is they see a roundabout, so obviously I tell them from quite far away, and I'll be saying to them, right, okay, now you want to start to slow down. Mirror checking signal, slow down a little bit more, slow down a little bit more, look in your mirrors, okay, start to slow down. So you want to be in second gear for this roundabout.
Okay.
Then at that point, as we're approaching it, if it's quite an open junction, I'll say, okay, what can you see? Okay, where is that car going? Where is that signal? Where is, where? And I do say to them as well, obviously we do have to be careful with signals, because it can be left on, or they don't realise it's on, or they're doing it wrong, or anything like that, or they just might not signal at all. Yeah. So I'll say to them, like, as you're approaching, you have a look. Is there anybody already on it? Are we going to see any blockers that will help us, as in people that are stopping them cars from the right coming round?
Okay.
But I do that like kind of as we're there. So just because I found that when I try and talk them through this whilst we're stationary, they ain't got a clue what I'm talking about. They need to see it visually. Some understand it. Some understand. I have like a little diagram as well that, you know, I try and do that with them.
Yeah.
But some, I find it works better when they're there and we can see.
Yeah.
And I'm talking them through it as we're doing it. And they might be partly trained, so they know how to do a roundabout.
Yeah.
But it's the decision making. I'm like, right, okay, so now we're going to be looking here. Right, what can you see? Where is that person going? What signal is that person got?
So you're quite prompting a lot, isn't it, now in here? So when it's got someone first time you're teaching roundabout, are you start with the prompting or?
No, so I'll give them a full talk through. So instead of me saying, oh, where is that car going? I'll say, okay, that car there, can you see it's got an indicator on? Yeah, okay, that signal is now coming round. Or
so that you mean with beginner, you're doing first time roundabout, you talk through this with practice?
To be fair, at first I'll take them on a roundabout and I'll say it's clear, or it's not clear, or can you see a car coming? I'll ask them a couple of questions.
Okay, can I stop you there?
Yeah.
You jump into the prompt so early.
Okay.
With the beginners, because you have someone never done it before. Okay, they need your full guidance.
Well, what I usually do is before I take them to a big roundabout, I take them to a mini roundabout and a couple of quiet roads.
It does technically doesn't matter. Anything you teach, like say for example, say you're touching about moving up, stopping, or turning left or right. Okay, you do full talk through, isn't it? Do this, do this, do this, do that. Yeah. Roundabout even more complex than, of course, turning left or right. Okay, so when you teach a roundabout, the beginners never done roundabout. Okay, so they need your full help, guidance quite a lot. You know, so do this, do that, go. That car going there, you need to go now, go in, or like you don't need to stop here. No car, go. That car turning left, go. So basically, at first we need to go to. Don't need that. Hey, that's yours now. Okay, so. You need to go full guidance, step by step, telling everything. Okay, then when you get a little bit more confidence, when they get a little bit more, you can feel that. Okay, you can see that. Okay, they get better confidence and they start doing things that before even sometimes you're telling them. Then of course you move into the second one, which is prompting to them. Okay, but again that can be changed. Can guide, prompt. Then it's come to teaching style now here. See that Emmy. Is like you have to use different. Everybody learn differently. Some people more nervous than others. Some people have be more faster on this. Some people are slower. Okay, so then what sort of teaching style you choose? I mean, when you say you got someone that if someone nervous, so you say you did visualize with them like in diagram, you picture and explain this, that blockers and so on. Okay, which is that good because they need to understand what's going on, but they're not going to remember all of this. They're not going to remember them.
Usually I will. I mean, everybody is different. Some people I can show it to and it works. Some people I show it to and it doesn't work. It does depend on the pupil. I think obviously every pupil is different, and I think obviously when you get to know them, you kind of know what works for them. But what I'll do is I'll show them the diagram just before we go, and I'll explain it. I'll make sure that they understand. And then obviously when we go to it, I mean, I do talk them through it if it's their very first time on a roundabout. But it's like sometimes it'll get to a point, it could be a couple of lessons into doing roundabouts, and you think that they're partly trained, but then they kind of take a step back and they're panicking about something. It could be a certain situation. It could be a bus on the roundabout or something like that. Then like we take it back to the guided look, and I help them through it, kind of thing.
Okay.
But I don't know.
So let me ask you this. Say I'm one of your learners. I'm one of your students. One of your learner. I'm panicking. Okay, so I'm keep panicking to roundabout. I have no clue where I'm going. I'm keep panicking and getting worse and worse and worse. Okay, so what sort of style you think you should use for me then in that point? So you give me a full guide, do this, do that, everything, and you're still panicking. Well, I'm still panicking, still doing mistakes, still not slowing down enough, maybe still like all over the place. So I'm just panicking. Okay, so what sort of style you think you should you're using
We
this
would
point.
stay with the like full talk through, so like full instruction.
Okay, good. But still, I need to learn roundabout. I need to practically learn as well, isn't it? Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you did say full talk. Every time you do full talk with me, and then it's still not working, isn't it? I'm just going to roundabout. I'm just screaming at, like panicking.
Okay.
So what other style that you think you can?
I mean,
Use.
if they're really like struggling to understand it, I will swap with them and I'll show them.
Perfect. Well done. Yeah. Swapping one of the best one on roundabout.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're relaxed. They sit next to you now.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And you just full talk through.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then here you go and go for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. Then again, you have to look at your learner's ability as well. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
what stage they are before you take them to the roundabout. Okay.
Mhm.
So obviously you said at the beginning you don't take them to the big roundabout at the beginning. You start doing with a
Mini.
a
If I
smaller
struggle
one.
with the mini,
Okay.
I'll...
I would say mini and medium one, like kind of they have island in the middle. You need to choose still the one that have island to it, the
Yeah.
one quiet one, not from the mini jump to the 4-lane roundabout. You see what I'm?
Yeah,
what
so
I mean
what
now?
I'll do is, it depends on how long the lessons I have with them. So if they have an hour lesson, I always, I mean, some do have hours,
Yeah.
don't they? Yeah, there's some.
Yeah. It's short to explain everything to
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah,
So
yeah,
everything's gonna go quick.
So I mean, every lesson I get them to kind of, especially if they're quite new to driving. So say if we've had a handful of lessons and whatnot, I will get them to like freshen up being in the car again, because I did find that it doesn't work if they get straight in the car. What was that?
That was loud, isn't it? Coronavirus, coronavirus.
No, I do find that when they jump in the car, it helps them to just remember what they did last time, as in like with the feet controls, going lefts, rights, whatnot. Yeah. So I'll get them to freshen up for like 10 minutes, and then I'll take them to like a mini roundabout. Just so that they can understand the concept of it, because I find that when I've done it previously and I've took them straight to a medium-sized roundabout, they just kind of get there and they kind of freak out a little bit. So I mean, it's just the way that, it's just because of the area that I teach in, I can go to a route that's just mini roundabouts. So I'm already, at that point, I'm already saying, obviously, so we want to slow down, put a signal on if we need to. Then slow down, then think about second gear. Then I'll teach them to look to the right. Now where are you, like, you know, we're going to look to the right now as soon as you can, just so
somebody panting. What's going on?
just so that they get familiar with the whole concept of a roundabout without thinking too much about going round an island, if that, like the actual centre bit, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
I just find that it works better, and then if we do a couple of those, then they kind of understand the concept. They know that they've got to stop if someone's coming without thinking too much about big positionings if there's 2 lanes, and then that's when then I'll bring that into it, and when we go to the medium-sized ones, and I don't know, I just find that it eases them into it a little bit, because as pupils, I mean, I've learned that as soon as you think about roundabouts, they freak out. They freak out. They think it's the worst thing in the world. They work themselves up before they get there, and then when somebody's worked up, they're not understanding completely. So I like to kind of warm them into it a little bit, get the concept of it, because as soon as you say roundabouts, they think you're taking on to a motorway roundabout. It's massive and it's this and it's that. So I say to them, like, look, calm down. It's only a mini roundabout. As soon as you say mini roundabout, they're like, it's alright, I can do a mini roundabout.
So
they do it.
Mini roundabout can be more dangerous than big one, because
I mean,
you literally just meter away from each other. Bang. Big one actually easier. That's what actually I tell my students to, you know, this psychological wise, you know, like kind of how to calm them down on the bad roundabout situation. I said to my people, my students, I say, look, you may think that mini roundabout actually easier. And big roundabout is difficult, but actually mini roundabout can be more dangerous than the big one, because the thing is, you literally just like kissing each other in the roundabout, and easily just one mistake. But on the bigger roundabout, you have more space to maneuver, you can more space to stay, you have more view there, you can see a lot better, and you have room to escape, you make some mistakes, right? And some of the even big roundabout have traffic light control on them. You know?
I always say that. I mean, that I get lots of people that say, like, you know, the ones with the multiple lanes, and we've got a couple over by us.
Yeah.
And traffic light controlled, and they're like, oh, I can't go to that roundabout because of how big it is. And I'm like, listen, just calm down. I'm gonna talk you through it. Yeah, I don't want you to freak out. And then as we're doing it, they're like, oh, this one's easier because all you gotta do is follow the lanes. As long as you're in the correct lane, you're all right. And it's like,
good. If you remember when we did the 40-hour training together, when we were doing roundabout that day, I said, look, roundabout one of the hardest thing to teach. It's not that easy because it's a lot going on. People freaking out. People, I mean, I don't want to say freaking out, but people just basically get panicked so quickly. You just need to roundabout need a lot more guidance at the beginning, and then prompt to come to independent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
So people really up to the test stand. Still teaching roundabout, they still make mistake on the test, and they fail the test sometime on the roundabout. Is still okay. So I have one of my students. She had 50 hours with me, and then a lot of roundabout, and then she fell 4 times on the roundabout.
Are you joking?
Twice same mistake, twice same wrong lane, twice exactly the same roundabout, exactly the same mistake. You know?
Yeah.
And the other 2 times exactly the similar mistake. Forgot the signal, couldn't even move to the other lanes. It's just judgment, you know, like roundabout is a tough one. Roundabout is a tough one.
I
Of
think
course,
it's
you need to be more
because-
patient with them and be more.
Because there's a lot of things that they like do, isn't there? There's a lot of things that they've got to think about.
Yeah.
So like, I know, you know, even when I talk them through it, they still, if they leave it all to the last minute, they're rushing and they're trying to do everything at one time. And I say, look, prepare yourself nicely. You can see that there's a roundabout ahead. Mirror check signal, whichever way we're going. Start to slow yourself down into second gear. Now come back off the clutch and have a look round. Have a look, see if it's clear. I've noticed that when I not force them, but you know, when I tell them to do it like that, even the people that are test ready, and like you just said, I will kind of be not prompting them, but I'll be asking them questions, and they're doing it all last minute, and it's like, it doesn't work like that. I think if you take them through it step by step, they get more confident with it. I'd say roundabouts is probably the biggest thing to learn, isn't it?
And also what you need to do basically, do not give them, also that you don't want to give them too many complicated techniques. This is what I mean. Info, try to make it as basic possible. So what I do myself, so if someone never drive roundabout before, I mean just out in the road, okay, at the roundabout we're going to take the first section on the left. Okay, I used to start left as well with them. Easy one. So check the man on left mirror, second on left. Now here, slow down, got second gear. Well, let me need to stop for that car. Okay, that car gone. Now we're gonna go. So I gotta get out of the clutch. Don't worry, I'm looking there. So you know, like I try to. So I don't give too much information.
At the
beginning.
Not to
like,
begin with.
Okay, you see that car position? The too many info. You see what I mean? So I'll keep it easy and simple for them for first few rounds. Even whole lesson actually that day. Following lesson, I move on a little bit to the different. You know, like slowly build them up. To give them more info. Okay, so this is usually I do. When I'm training roundabout people. Not give them too much. So don't worry, we're gonna work on this one today. So we're gonna be more practice, of course, today, and then we're gonna take from there to see how you're doing it. Right? Any question?
No.